since the Messiah has to be from the line of David, Quranically speaking, how is Jesus from the line of David, since you acknowledge a virgin birth? Now, I can't share the link here. I have a link where the Muslim scholars actually attributed, guess which gospel accounts lineage to Mary. I have it here, but I don't know.
Probably
I can send it
Luke.
to you. Wait, I'll send it to
I'm
you.
assuming
Probably.
Luke.
Well, here, guess what? Here it is. Here's the link. I sent it to you in your, sorry, man, my voice is under the weather because, you know, the heat. Did you see it? I sent it to you in your DM.
Yeah, I'll link it right underneath this chat.
Yeah,
right
let me read to you. This comes from the history of Al-Tabari. Okay, let me read this. If it's okay, do you mind if I read it?
No, please do.
Okay. According to Ibn Humayd, Salama, Ibn Ishaq, as far as I could learn from her lineage, Mary was the daughter of Imran. Now, note, according to the Quran, chapter 66, verse 12, Mary's father is Imran. I want everyone to listen to this. I want you to catch this and listen to this because I want you to see the huge embarrassment and blunder of the Quran. Guys, I want you to note her father's name is Imran. That's 66:12. Even the Muslim historians, when they want to give a lineage of Jesus's mother, they say her father's Imran. Chapter 19:28. I want all the ortho bros, whom now I love you guys. I love you guys, man. Can you give me an honorary badge so I can be an ortho bro too? May the orbs be with all of you. But anyway, in chapter 19, 27, 28, Mary is said to be the sister of Aaron. Follow the logic here. Mary, daughter of Imran, sister of Aaron. Chapter 19, 27, 28. In chapter 3, verse 35, 36, Jay, Mary's mother is the wife of Imran. Now, the only Mary who has a brother named Aaron and a father named Imran is the sister of Moses. Exodus 15:20, Numbers 26:59, we're told Miriam, Hebrew Miriam, and by the way, in Arabic, Mary's called Miriam, the sister of Aaron, and we're told Numbers 26:58, 59, that Amram, which would correspond to Imran, Amram, his wife Yochebed, gave birth to his children, Miriam, Aaron, and Moses. So the only Miriam who has a father named Imran, a brother named Aaron, is the sister of Moses. So the Quran thinks that Moses is Jesus's uncle. So I'll have a field day with that one. But now let me read what Tabari says. Mary was the daughter of Imran, son of Josiah, son of Ammon, son of Manasseh, son of Hezekiah, son of Ahaziah, son of Jotham, son of Azariah, son of Amaziah, son of Joash, son of Ahaziah, son of Joram, son of Jehoshaphat, son of Asa, son of Abijah, son of Rehoboam, son of Solomon. They actually mixed the details of Matthew's genealogy, because that's where they're getting their information, and attributed to Mary. So I want you to see they took parts of Matthew's genealogy and not only ascribed it to Joseph, but garbled it up and ascribed it to Mary. So if I go with the Muslim historians, the names listed in Matthew's genealogy that connect Jesus through Joseph to David, they garbled it up and now ascribed it to Joseph and Mary. This is History of Al-Tabari, English translation, volume 4, The Ancient Kingdom, pages 103 to 104. So if he has a problem with the genealogies of Matthew and Luke, at least we have genealogies. We can harmonize them. But he doesn't want to accept harmonization. That's why I don't waste my time. I go back to the Islamic dilemma. But I want to know the Muslim Jewish Messianic dilemma. For Jesus to be the Messiah, according to Jewish tradition, based on scriptures, he has to be the son of David. How is he the son of David? And how can you prove it from your Quran? You can't do that, can you? Now, can I read one more?
Sure.
Okay. This again comes from Tabari. It says that Mary, daughter of Imran, from the family lineage of David. How? I want them to prove to you, Jay, that Mary, the sister of Moses, who would become the maternal uncle of Jesus, how she connected to David. I would like to know that. Can they give you a genealogy? They can. But we know Jesus has to be a descendant of David. And even here, Ibn Kathir contradicts himself. In one place, Ibn Kathir will say that Mary is from the line of David, but then contradicts himself elsewhere because the Quran is garbled, and then will ascribe her lineage to that of Aaron. But here I want you to see what Ibn Kathir says regarding Mary making Jesus a descendant of David and a descendant of Abraham, even though you're supposed to trace your lineage from your father's side, but he's exceptional. This is from Ibn Kathir, his commentary on chapter 3, verse 33. Allah states that he has chosen these households over the people of the earth. For instance, Allah chose Adam. Let me skip to the relevant part. Allah also chose the household of Imran, the father of Maryam bint Imran, daughter of Imran, the mother of Isa. So Isa is from the offspring of Ibrahim. How? From his mother. So I would like to know, since they nitpick on the Gospels, I like to know, can you demonstrate to us from your Quran, how is Jesus a descendant of Abraham and David when he has a mother? What evidence can you give to confirm as Messiah his royal lineage to David? Stop nitpicking on the Gospels. Focus on your Quran, which cannot exist apart from the Bible, because the Quran assumes the prior knowledge of the scriptures and the traditions of the Jews and Christians, which is why it cannot tell you why Jesus is the Messiah. I would like the answer to that. Why is he the Messiah? What is the Messiah? How do you know? You can't go to my Bible when it's convenient to bail out your Quran and then attack my Bible because it contradicts the Quran, proving Muhammad is an antichrist. It's not going to work. You want me? I mean, I can go on and on, brother, but you let me know when you want me to stop.
Well, Islamic Apex, what's your answer to that? Go ahead and unmute.
Yeah, let him answer that direct question.
Yo, you guys hear me? What's going on?
Yeah, what's up?
I'll be honest, Sam Shamoun, that
don't attack me here, buddy. Focus on the topic.
Oh, I don't know why you're getting paranoid, man. I'm not attacking.
Just saying, focus on the topic. Don't make it personal. Address the issue. I want to know, how do you know?
Don't worry.
Jesus, the Messiah. What makes him the Messiah, and what is the Messiah from the Quran?
What makes him the Messiah is that, well, firstly, the Quran.
A little louder. I can't hear you. Apex, I can't hear you. Louder.
Yeah, am I audible now? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Now I can hear you.
Okay, good. So, well, the primary reason why I believe Jesus Christ is the Messiah is because Jesus Christ is proclaimed to be the Messiah in the previous scriptures and the Quran. And the Quran.
No, we didn't. Don't go to the previous scriptures, because I said those scriptures contradict the Quran.
You asked me why I believe he's the Messiah. I'm telling you why.
Apex, listen to the argument. You didn't hear the argument. Okay. The moment you go to the scriptures and they contradict the Quran, you're going to say the scriptures are corrupt. Forget my
scriptures. They're corrupt regardless, boss. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so now show from the Quran what it means for him to be Messiah and what the Messiah is.
What it means for Jesus Christ to be the Messiah? Show that from the Quran.
And what the Messiah is from your Quran.
What? Well, you're not going to find the definition of the word Messiah in the Quran.
Thank you. This is the Islamic
Dilemma. Thank you. Is that your incredible
Jay,
point,
did you see
Bruce Lee?
They need your Bible to bail out the Quran, but when the Bible shows it,
I mean, Sam Shamoun, do you have the definition?
Apex,
hold on.
Tell us what the Messiah is according to the Quran.
Boss, according to the Quran. Before I address that, are you expecting to find the definition of the word Messiah in the Quran?
Absolutely. If the Quran doesn't need the Bible to bail it out.
I mean,
hear my argument, Apex. If the Quran doesn't need my Bible to bail out your prophet, then absolutely it should define the term Messiah. Because once you go to my Bible, then my Bible shows Muhammad is a false prophet. So can you unfollow the logic or no?
I don't think you're following your own logic, Bruce Lee. That's the problem. Now, hold on.
So the guy just going
so you don't have an answer from the Quran.
Can I speak? I absolutely have an answer. We're waiting on you. Me speak. I'm trying to speak, but this guy keeps...
Everybody's letting you speak.
Okay, good. So let me talk real quick.
Dodge and dive. Answer the question.
Yeah, I'm answering the question. So there's not a precise definition of the word Messiah in the Quran. The word Messiah, its definition, it means to wipe or to be chosen or to be anointed.
Where did you get that from?
So, hold on. That's the Arabic
Where did you get that definition from?
Lisan al-Arab. That's where I got it.
Where?
Lisan al-Arab, is that revelation wahi from Allah?
Are you stupid, Mr. Sam Shamoun?
No, you just called the Quran
Are we
stupid
kidding?
because
Oh,
you
I
went
did?
to a dictionary.
Wow, that is a horrible
produced
So a
by
definition
man.
dictionary?
from Mr. Sam Shamoun.
Yeah, so
It's
you're
a
wasting your time
definition
with
of a
this guy.
word. We
He's
get
a kid.
definitions from dictionaries.
So
classical Arabic
dictionary is not the
dictionaries
Quran, you
specifically.
idiot. This
Yeah,
is not
not
the
only that,
Quran.
Jay, let me show.
Sure, go ahead.
Dictionaries will need to consult sources for definition of terms. So that dictionary either is dependent on Muslim tradition or the Bible. So notice, guys, he couldn't go to his revelation. He went to an uninspired dictionary that has to look at sources like Muslim tradition or the Bible for the definition. You're burying yourself. So let's try it again. Where did the Quran give you the definition of the Messiah?
I already booted him because he doesn't.
Anyway,
He's
Jay, this
a
is
waste
how
of time. Omar,
this
go
is-
ahead. What's your objection, Omar? Go ahead, Omar.
no personal attacks, guys. Keep it on the topic.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
First, I want to thank you for allowing me. I just
Can't hear him.
use
A little
jump
louder.
through spaces and never
Alright.
get a chance to even speak. But thank you for allowing me on the stage. I appreciate you guys, and I love this discussion. I do want to say that I am not a scholar. I'm not going to be able to defend like the way you think I will, but I will say this: when
What is he saying? I
you
can't hear.
can you guys hear me?
I can't hear you. Maybe it's my problem. But what did you say? I know you said you're not a scholar. What else?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying I am not a Muslim scholar per se.
Okay.
I have a quick answer for you, and then we can talk about it, because I think this is a healthy conversation, and I like joining into
Okay.
healthy
Well,
conversations.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I can
So
hear you.
from now, I don't know this previous person who was speaking. I don't like his attitude. It felt like he was trying to attack. I'm not trying to attack. When you read the Quran and you say, for example, ذلك عيسى بن مريم المسيح عيسى بن مريم, the word al-Masih, there is a reason for that nickname given to Jesus in the Quran. And the reason was in one of the verses in the 3rd chapter of the Quran, so the
Yes.
3rd surah is Ali Imran, and in that chapter it says that God has given Jesus certain abilities when he was sent as a prophet. And those abilities, one of them was if anybody was sick with like any kind of like judam, or like in English it would be like skin disease, or any kind of like someone blind, he takes his hand, Jesus, peace be upon him,
Yep.
and he what it means, yamsah ala wajhi, which
That's
translates
not in the
like
Quran. The definition
No,
Messiah
no,
you're
it's-
giving me. I know where you're going with. Omar, I
yeah.
know you're going to the Muslim commentators.
Arabic, Bruce.
Yeah, well, the Muslim commentators tell you that Masih can mean to rub. That's one of the definitions given by your Muslim scholars.
So
The other
reason-
definition they'll tell you is that he means that he's the anointed king. But that's my entire
So
contention.
when you say
You cannot
anointed
define it
king-
from the Quran.
Yeah, no,
Omar,
I'm defining
can you
it
listen?
based on the words of the Quran. So the words of the Quran
Where does
will
the Quran say Masih means to rub?
No, it says, okay, so the definition mentioned in the Quran, there are so many phrases
Give me
in
the
the
one
Quran.
There's no
definition of the
definition.
Quran.
There's no definition.
There isn't.
Yeah, but I'm
no,
going to ask him,
the word-
Omar, give
it's
me
like
the
he-
one definition of the Quran where it says Messiah means to smear or rub. That's why it's called the Messiah. Show it to me in the verse.
No, I didn't say that. I'm sorry. Maybe I missed the question, maybe, because it was the question, is there a definition of the Messiah in the Quran? Is that what you're
What
asking?
is the Messiah, and how do you know Jesus is the Messiah?
So yeah, I was going to finish that thought, but it's
Okay,
not
go
like the Quran says that the word Messiah means to rub, but it's like it's indicated
Good.
within. Okay, so you want
Good.
something very clear.
No, but hold on,
clear-
Omar, one at a time. Let's talk. Good. You admit it to everyone here. You couldn't get the definition Messiah to mean rub or smear from the Quran. Good. So what makes him the Messiah? How do you know?
It's like when you Bruce, right? Yeah, Bruce, when you read a book and you say, how does the word travel work? Maybe I need to look at 3 different dictionaries, because the word travel could mean 2-3 different things.
And how do you know the
Okay.
dictionary is giving you the right definition in that context?
You're going in like an argumentative circle.
No, this is exactly the question that was asked to the guy
Yeah.
two
So,
people
like
before you, which
Bruce
is
said
this is showing that there's not a plain reading, and the Messiah text is a perfect example of that.
I
And
think
Jay,
Bruce
that shows
actually
you the
answered.
Islamic dilemma, Jay. This is why I'm
No,
showing
it's not a
people how to
dilemma.
use it.
It's like, Bruce,
Right.
you answered. There's like the scholars in Islam will tell you that there's 2 definitions
And
of
how do you
that
know they're
word.
right? Where did they get that definition?
One second, Bruce. please don't ask me in the middle of your previous
No, I
question.
can't let you just go on a rant. This is a conversation.
I'm
So
not
you said
ranting.
the scholars are not prophets.
Not
They're
me,
not
you said.
inspired, and they come after the Quran. So how do you know their definitions are right?
Yeah, so what I don't know, like you mentioned that based on your studies, that the scholars gave two definitions of the Messiah. The first
Several,
one,
there's
which is
many
basically to
definitions.
rub, and we didn't find the definition of that in the Quran. That's clear. Have you been able to find the definition of the second one, the anointed one? And
That
honestly,
means the
Muslims,
king. Yes, I can look at your
yeah,
commentators, but that's irrelevant because I don't want to go to your commentators. I need your Quran to tell me what these terms mean because you're proving my point. What was my point? The Quran
have-
presupposes the previous scriptures and the traditions of the Jews and Christians that follow those scriptures in order to make sense out of the Quran. Hence, the Quran needs a Bible. The Bible doesn't need the Quran. And you're making my case.
I'm actually, I want to actually agree with you to some
Okay,
point.
good.
Because when we talk about the sky religions, so the religions of the sky, so it starts with in Islam, we believe that it starts with Adam. He was the first prophet, and then there's a lot more prophets that came, and then there's Abraham, right? Abraham didn't have a book, but then after that, they came Moses and his brother Aaron, and Moses had that, like one of the, like, the books that were sent to the human kind to kind of get the word of God. And then after that came Jesus with another book that kind of helped, maybe, let's say, formulate a more perfect version of the first one that came to Moses. And then when the Prophet Muhammad came, it was like, here's the final version of all of them. So when
you're
I say
admitting the Quran needs a Bible, Omar? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying it needs, I'm saying the Quran is the final version of all the books before it that you're talking about. The Bible,
But
the
hold on, let's understand the
all that.
relationship. Omar, we're trying to
Sorry?
understand your point in relation to my challenge. So you are saying the Quran is building on the Bible. So that's
I'm
why it
not
doesn't
saying
differ in the
building.
terms.
No, I'm saying that the Quran is the word of God that completes what was sent before by God, which is
Okay,
the
what is
Bible
the
and the
definition
Torah.
of the Messiah according to the Quran then? Let's go back to square one.
I have no idea, man. I can't find
Good.
that.
All right, good. That's it. All right, then you
Maybe-
made my
What
case.
if what if there's a word in the Quran that says, I'm sorry, if you want to cut me off, cut me off. I'm just trying
No, I
to.
mean you made my case. That's it. So what's
You're
the next?
insisting on the answer of one question. What is the definition of the Messiah? Muslims do not believe that Jesus will come as the anointed king. No,
You
he
want to
will be
bet
the
your
he
hadiths
will
if you're going to go?
return. He will
Friend, if you
return
go
as
to your
the,
hadiths, he returns as a just judge and ruler, and he's going to usher in Islam universally, and he's going to rule
correct.
for 40 years. Okay, but hold
And
on.
he's gonna kill the pig, and he's gonna
Now we
break
went
the
on a
cross.
tangent. Yes. But you just destroyed your Quran because here, let me explain to you why. If he then abolishes jizya, according to your sound hadith, he abolishes the jizya. That's because everyone's going to have to be Muslim, right? No more jizya?
Not everybody has to be Muslim, but
Then why
there
is
will
the
no
jizya
longer be
abolished?
any Jews.
Okay, even better. The only ones who are going to live will be Muslims, right?
I don't
Do
know.
I have to bring up the hadith? You just mentioned it. He's going to kill the
The
pig,
Jews. The
destroy,
Jews.
cross, and abolish jizya. Jizya, for those who don't know, is the payment that Jews and Christians, Ahl al-Kitab, people of the book, have to pay if they want to retain their religious identity and live under Islamic rule. When you abolish jizya, that means there are no more Jews and Christians. So everyone's going to be Muslim, right?
I guess.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I have to. We went now on
I'm
a
sorry,
tangent,
I
but
don't.
I'm running with you.
Yeah,
So if
okay.
he abolishes the jizya, that means the only religion, even the hadith say, will be Islam. Everyone becomes Muslim. That
Correct.
means he just made the great bulk of your Quran obsolete. He abrogated it because much of your Quran has to do with how do you interact with unbelievers. When he comes, according to your hadith, everyone
Not
will be
really,
Muslim,
man. I'm
and
sorry,
he now
Bruce.
abrogates your Quran.
Where in the Quran does it mention the jizya?
Chapter 9, verse 29, it says, fight those who do not believe on Allah, nor the last day, nor forbid what Allah and his messenger have forbidden, nor uphold the religion and truth, even if they be of the people of the book, until they pay the jizya and feel subdued.
29, you said?
Chapter 9, verse 29. But now we
So
went
that-
far adrift.
Are you
But
going
anyway,
chapter by, like, one
Surah
out of
Al-Tawbah.
30 chapters, or surah?
Surah
Surah-
Al-Tawbah, chapter 9.
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, Jay, I thought, let me know how long you want me to do this with you, my brother.
No,
No,
I mean,
I looked in the Quran.
I'm
I have
happy
the
to let you do this. Is great.
Yeah. They say you and I, when we debated the Muslims, was the best debate in history. We got to do it again.
So Bruce, hold on. So you're telling me that when Jesus,
Chapter 9, verse 29, man, I'm not telling you.
when Jesus returns, and because he's going to rule with Islam and that Sharia and the Quran,
Yeah.
because the Quran says stuff about jizya, that and there's no jizya, then that contradicts the religion.
No. Let me repeat my argument again.
Okay.
You said he's going to come because I know the argument of the Muslims. See, Jesus comes as a Muslim who'll uphold Sharia, not the Injil. I said baloney. Why? The hadith you mentioned, it's in Bukhari and Muslim. He comes to usher in Islam, makes everyone Muslim. Now, we don't believe that, but I'm going with your argument. So understand what your argument is supposed to be. I'm articulating it for you. He's going to usher in Islam universally. Everyone has to be a Muslim. No other religion will exist. That's why the jizya will be abolished, because there'll be no non-Muslims living under Islamic rule to pay jizya. Jizya is now abolished. That means that part of the Quran is abolished. And every other verse of the Quran that tells you how to deal with non-Muslims, he wipes out, he makes it obsolete. So he's not upholding your Quran, he's erasing it.
No, not him. So the Quran says in the second chapter, so Surah Al-Baqarah, there's a verse that says, "Ma nansakh min ayatin aw nunsiha."
Yeah.
Like Allah, like the Muslims believe that
2106.
Allah has the ability to do anything. He can.
So he's
remove
going to
a verse.
abrogate the Quran?
Yes, he can. Well, there's actually.
So he makes the Quran obsolete. Okay, good.
You just interrupted me twice. I don't even know what
Omar,
you said.
because you're making my point, you're going on a tangent. If you are admitting he's going to abrogate the Quran, that means he makes the Quran obsolete.
That's a very stupid argument, Bruce.
Right. Okay,
Telling
go
me
back
that
to Messiah. What does the Messiah mean? Let's go back to the
You're
Messiah.
telling me at the end of time, because Muslims say that Jesus is going to come and rule with the Quran.
What does the Messiah mean, the term?
Now the Quran, because it says jizya, that means it's up. It contradicts itself.
Okay, I'll make it easier for you because you're going on a tangent. When
the
who
Quran
were
was
Jesus'
meant to be
disciples?
used
Omar,
for
please
all
don't preach
times,
to me.
man.
Omar, okay. I'm going to show you the Quran needs the Bible. I'm going to make it easier. It says in chapter 3, verse 52 of the Quran, Surah Al-Imran, Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter 5, 111, it says, the disciples of Jesus were Muslims. Who were these disciples? How many were there? How do you know?
Okay.
Yeah, who were they? How many
who
were there?
they? You want them by name? The Quran does not mention them by name. How many were they? The Quran does not mention how many.
So how do you know Jesus had disciples at all?
Just because it says in the Quran that
how do you know we can trust the Quran?
How do I know that I can trust
the Quran? How do I know the Quran is right, that there was a Jesus who was the Messiah, the son of Mary, and had disciples?
So are we going to argue history now? Like, how do we
Thank you. What history do you have to appeal to now give me the information that the Quran lacks?
So there's two arguments here. Are you arguing the words in the Quran, or are you arguing the facts that the Quran is bringing forth in the history? Like the Quran says that Noah.
Your Quran needs my Bible.
You're saying, like, hold on. The Quran says that Noah, God kind of like sunk the earth for Noah. Prophet Noah.
Hey, come on, man. Why are you going back to Noah?
Man,
he's going back to Jesus. There was no kind of like.
You have the patience of a saint. Man,
there's record of these historical.
No, boss. I just said the Quran needs my Bible to bail it out, because you can't answer even basic questions without.
I'm not answering anything, man. I'm telling you the Quran is actually.
Where did Jesus preach, and for how long did he preach?
When I say the Quran is the final book,
where did Jesus preach?
That was
are you gonna answer the question or just keep preaching? It's not sermon time. Are you gonna answer the question or preach?
Where did Jesus preach in the time frame? When did he preach?
You tell me. I don't know. I really don't know that information. I'm not a scholar, like I said. Tell me.
Well, Omar, then you just made our case. You need our Bible to understand.
Every time I say a word, you say I made your case, when I'm actually, you're actually convincing me of what I know. Like, I'm telling you the Quran is the final book after the Bible, after the other book, and you're telling me that I'm preaching. I'm not preaching.
So this is the last chance. If you don't, can you restate what you think we're arguing? If you disagree, can you restate what you think the argument is?
Oh man.
Poor Omar, I like you, man. You're a good guy, I swear.
No, man, it's just
it's frustrating, I know.
What do you think we're arguing?
I feel cornered. I feel like I'm not able to speak my mind. I keep getting interrupted to answer a specific question.
No, nobody's interrupting you. All right, we're moving on. But thank you for that. Do we have any other let's see, Fulan, what's up, man?
By the way, before you go to Fulan, Jay, you're scheduled on YouTube, but you're not live.
Yeah, the electricity went out, which is why I did the thing
I
on
see.
X. But
Okay.
yeah,
Go ahead. All right.
what's up, man?
I just wanted to ask a question. Why is it
Keep it
not
on the topic.
sufficient? Yeah. So why is it not sufficient for us to go to Lisan al-Arab for the definition
Okay.
of Masih? When
How do you know
Allah
that
Azza wa
Lisan
Jal-
Arab?
Let me just
Yeah,
land
there
first
we
of
go
all.
again. Okay.
When Allah Azza wa Jal says, "Inna anzalnahu Qur'anan Arabiyyan la'allakum ta'qilun," so Allah Azza wa Jal states
Okay.
that it's a
Boss,
Quran
can
that
you
should be
repeat what my
revealed in
argument
Arabic.
was?
So you're saying,
How do you know Lisan Arab gave you the right definition of Messiah if the Quran doesn't define it for you?
so okay, that doesn't just because the Quran.
Okay, let me
doesn't
repeat it
define
again.
does-
Let's see if you got it.
Yeah,
You
I
went to
understand. You're
Lisan
saying,
al.
how
Well, let
do
me
you know
repeat
the
it so
Quran?
people. Yeah, well, let me repeat it so
Should I
people
still
can
make it?
understand. How do you know when Lisan al Arab tells you this is the meaning of Messiah, that they're right when the Quran doesn't define it?
Yeah, like other dictionaries.
Here we go.
Yeah, what's
Okay,
the
you have
problem
the
with that?
patience of saying. How do you know that the dictionaries are correct in telling you Messiah means this in Arabic when the Quran in Arabic doesn't tell you what it means? Where did it get that
Yeah, so the
information from?
dictionaries are basically telling us how people defined it at that time.
Who?
Your same
And where did they
argument will
get
be
the information from?
Yeah,
Grant, can I just
are
finish?
they infallible?
The same argument will apply to you, by the way. You know that.
No,
That's
no,
the
I'm not making
Tukokwe.
that
How
argument.
do you
No.
know?
That's
How
the
do you know in
Tukokwe.
Hebrew Adonai means one?
Oh,
How
so
do you
you're
know
getting
that?
it from the Bible. So you're
Yeah,
getting
Or
it from
God?
the
How
Bible.
do you know? Sorry, how do you know that Adonai means God?
Boss,
Well, that's what the
because
Hebrew
unlike
word
you,
means.
and by the way, let me just explain.
So
Unlike
that's
you,
what the Arabic word means.
boss, let me
No, it
answer
doesn't.
for Jay. Let me take care of him.
Yeah.
So
Because
how do
unlike
you know
you,
that?
can I answer your
You have to
question?
now.
Unlike
Can I just
you,
land?
unlike
Please,
you,
Sam?
we Christians, we look to the Old Testament, understand the New Testament, because unlike you, we don't say the Old Testament's corrupt, but you're telling me the Bible is corrupt, but then you go to my Bible to bail out the Quran, and then when I tell you, well, the Bible contradicts the Quran, oh, but your Bible's corrupt. Do you understand
That's
what
not
my
answering
argument
my
is?
question, though, Bruce.
Boss,
That's not answering
how
my
do you
question.
know what Messiah
My question
means?
is,
So you're not
you
going to
would
answer.
now
You're going to
need
answer with a question.
Yeah.
No. I've asked you. I've already provided an answer. I'm
What
now
was the
asking you,
answer?
and I'm saying
You said
my answer was
dictionaries.
Lisan al-Arab and other dictionaries, as they will
Okay,
now
are
narrate to us.
they inspired?
No, they're not inspired.
Okay,
No.
so the Quran doesn't tell you, right?
No, the Quran doesn't tell us. No.
Okay.
And so now you're relying on uninspired text, right?
Yeah, just like how you lot are.
It doesn't matter if I have a different paradigm. What my approach
So
to
why
linguistics
is it problematic for me and not problematic
Sam,
for
why is
you?
it problematic?
Okay, one more time, because my argument went back to your Quran presupposes the scriptures in order to help make sense out of the Quran, as well as what the Jews and Christians believed, derived from those scriptures, which means the Quran needs my Bible. My Bible doesn't need the Quran. So when I then challenge you to show you your Quran depends on the Bible, you'll then tell me, yes, we go to the Bible insofar as it agrees with the Quran, but then the Bible is corrupt when it contradicts the Quran. Hence the dilemma.
No, not necessarily. I'm saying just as how, because for example, in the Old Testament, there is not a definition for every single word
That's not my argument
in the
either.
Old Testament. So
It's not
just
the
as how
argument.
you don't see that as a problem.
Okay,
I'm
let
not
me
seeing it as a
restate
problem.
the question. Okay.
Oh
The
my God, you
Jews are
restated
waiting
it
for the
3
Messiah.
times,
Yeah,
pal.
no,
Come on, give it
because
up.
buddy,
Give it a rest.
you want to be sent out of here? Okay. The Jews are waiting for the Messiah. The Jews are waiting for the Messiah because their Hebrew Bible says Messiah will come. I'm asking you, if I'm a Jew and I want
what does Messiah mean?
That's exactly my question to you. So what does it mean?
Like I said, in Lisan al-Arab,
okay.
In the Arabic dictionaries.
You got someone else, Jay? This guy's gonna argue in a circle.
It comes from wiping, one of the words.
Common wiping,
From
one
wiping.
of the words. Yeah, wiping.
Yeah, it comes from wiping. Yeah, going potty. Andrew, what's up, man? Andrew, I'm mute. Arrow, what's up? And then we'll go to another Muslim.
All right. As long as they don't cuss us out, Jay, please don't let them cuss us
out.
I know you don't.
If they get mean, I'll remove them. AN, what's up?
Yeah. It's good. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. There's a multitude of questions Sam Shamoun was asking to the people before. So I'd just like to restate the questions and respond to them in full, if that's okay.
Okay, what's the
Okay.
question? What was
Okay.
the first question?
So a multitude of
with
the
one.
questions that you've asked about the Messiah according to the conception and idea of Islam, and how were the early Jews supposed to verify and validate the messianicship of
Yeah.
Jesus specifically, if all they had to appeal to was their biblical text. And then you asked, where was Jesus historically preaching? And then you asked, what is the time interval in which, or how far back was Jesus
Yeah,
preaching?
go ahead.
Okay.
Answer those
Now,
three.
the hadith in Bukhari, and Sayyid Bukhari
Mhm.
3948 says that between Muhammad sallam and Isa alayhi salam was 600 years. So we get the time interval mentioned there. Now within the
So
Quran,
Jay, I want you to see. Take it easy, man. Don't run. You see,
I'm
he ran
trying
from
to
the
answer
Quran
all
to
your
the. No,
questions.
be patient. No, my
Okay.
question was from the Quran. Now, Jay, you saw the
What?
first mistake. Jay, you saw the first
Wait,
mistake.
I'm not a
right?
Quranist though, so I can answer with the
I
hadith.
didn't. I
We're
didn't
not
care.
we're not making that argument. We
care.
know you're not.
Okay.
So thank you for now proving the Quran has no answers. You went to the Hadith. Now, how do you know that the Hadith is right? That there's a gap of 600 years between Jesus and Muhammad.
Beautiful, because I believe the hadith is an authentic collection of the sayings that would have been
We don't
transmitted to
care.
the Prophet
We don't
Muhammad
share.
sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
We don't
How do you
share
know
your
that? How do you
assumption.
know that
How do you know
Polycarp
he's
learned
right?
from John?
Don't change
So
That's a
double
two. You
standard
know what
here.
a two quote
Oh,
way
double
is?
standard here.
Okay.
Wait, so double
Yeah,
standard
No,
here.
it's a two
Wait,
quote way. I have a
Jay
different
Dyer,
paradigm.
Dyer, because no,
We
I am.
have a
how do you
different
know?
paradigm.
Please,
How do you
one
know?
person at a time. Let me just speak to one person at a time.
How do
Do you
you know
understand
that?
why I'm
I said because I believe it's a collection of statements that is traceable
We
back to the
don't
time of the
share
Prophet
that
Muhammad
assumption.
sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Right. Now,
Convince
Okay,
how
so
do
me.
you know?
I gave you the time
How do you
interval.
know?
Let's move on to the next question. How do I know?
But
Because
no,
I can
how do you
verify
know?
because I can
How do you
verify its
know?
authenticity and its reliability and its credibility and its
How?
validity
Who
by
cares
based
that
on mass
Muhammad?
mass
How?
attestation and
How?
transmission
Says
and
who?
using specific methods whenever
Buddy,
it comes
we're
to any
not
sort of
Like
talking
what?
historical
about you
critical studies.
confirming the Hadith. Yes,
Okay.
Muhammad is
But you
authentically.
asked what the interval was. You didn't say
authentically.
according to
Can
the
let me
Quran.
finish the point.
Go ahead.
You just established that Muhammad authentically guessed that 600 years. How do you know he was right that it's 600 years?
Because I have good independent justification to believe that he's a credible, true prophet who has more historical, succinct knowledge than the biblical data, all of it, and all of it itself.
And how do you know
Right?
what he says
And I'll
about
go
the
into that.
biblical
And I'll
data
go
is
into
true?
So just
that. I'll
preach
go
it.
into
How do you
that.
know?
No problem.
How do you
I'll
know
go into
what he
that.
said about
The
the
same way
biblical
that the
data is
Prophet
correct?
Muhammad, peace be upon him, the same way that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be
Yeah,
upon
this
him, is able
guy's
to
gonna
tell me.
start manifesting.
Can I respond, brother? I'm trying to respond.
No, stick on the
Wait,
topic.
yeah, exactly. I'm
Don't-
trying to. I am
What's
on
the
topic.
answer?
I am on
Take it easy.
topic, brother. Anyone can
Stay
see.
topic.
Like I am on topic.
Yeah, everyone sees.
How
Okay,
do you
I
know?
am on topic. You just didn't let me
Yeah.
respond. Okay,
Yeah, he
so
didn't let you
I
respond.
can, please, I can establish that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has good historical, succinct information and data, not based on him taking traditions from previous Christians, but him receiving revelation from God. One example
That's
that
the
I
thing
can
in
give. Wait,
question.
let me
He's
justify.
wasting his
Let me
time.
just,
Yeah.
brother. I'm
So
the only
just
one. I'm the only one
assuming
who's
it's
gonna be able to
wrong.
adequately respond to every single one of your doubts.
You're not
And one of your
responding.
questions.
You're
Jay Dyer, you
stating your
keep interrupting.
position. We
You
want to
keep
know
interrupting.
how.
I gave the interval. He
Then
asked.
get lost
He
if you're
asked a very
complaining. Get
simple
out of here,
question.
dude. Get
Brother,
lost.
brother, why are you scared? Why are you scared, Shimon?
Okay, tell me
Shimon,
what the word
No one's
Messiah means from the
scared.
Quran.
Shimon, why are you scared? This is my first time
Listen,
engaging with
All right,
you.
tell
you're
me
done.
what
I'm
the
tr-
Messiah means
I
from the
got you.
Quran
The
instead of
Messiah,
manifesting.
according to the Islamic tradition, right? The name is
The
wait. I
Quran?
got you. I
Not
got
the
you. The
Quran.
name, yeah, the
The
Quran. The
Quran?
Quran is the Islamic tradition, Buster. So if you didn't
Okay.
understand that, then
Give
I
me
don't know
the
what to tell you.
verse. Give me the
So
verse.
Where?
beautiful. So according to the Quran, is
Yes, where?
Jesus one who does specific miracles? And I would say that
Where
Messiah
does
is
the
an
Quran say
aptronym.
that's the
I
Where does
definition
got
of
it
the
you.
say
Do you know
that?
what an aptronym is? Yeah, Sam Shamoun?
Where does the Quran say that's
So he
the
doesn't
meaning
know what
of
an
the Messiah?
aptronym is. So an
Where
aptronym
does
is
the
very
Quran
simple.
say the
I got you.
Messiah
I'll
means
break
the
it down.
I got
I'll
you.
break it
I
down.
got you. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
so
get
stop
you.
interrupt. So let's speak in 30-second
Get
intervals
to
so we
the
can actually
point.
properly respond to one
Get to
another.
the point, dude.
I'm trying to
Get
get to the point, but you keep
All right, go
interrupting.
ahead.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Go ahead.
So according to the Quran itself,
Yeah.
right,
Mhm.
we understand that
Mhm.
Isa alayhi salam had a multitude of miracles, right? And we would say that this title that he is described with is going to be understood as an aptronym. Now, do you know
Where
what an
does the Quran
aptronym
say
is?
that?
How do you
Where
know
does
that?
the
Okay,
Quran
an
say
aptronym,
that
I
Messiah
got you.
includes a
No
miracle
problem.
worker?
No problem.
No. Listen to my argument. Where does the Quran
Uh-huh.
say Messiah, the title encompasses that he's a miracle worker?
Because it's
How do
an
you know that's
aptronym.
part
Because
and
if I
parcel?
gave you the title of being a teacher,
Who's next, Jay?
I got you. Wait, I
Who's
got
next,
you,
buddy?
brother. Let me
So
respond. Wait, let me
every
respond.
teacher is
Let me
a.
respond, please. I'm trying to respond to his question, Jay. Can I respond to his
All
question?
right, this is your last chance.
I'm
Stop
trying to
yapping and
respond to his
complaining.
question, brother.
No, you're
Every
not.
single
You're
question that he bring about was
filibustering.
so easy. It's easy
Yeah,
to pick
and you're
apart. He's
Mirage.
just letting me. He's just
Where
allowing
does
me
the
to say.
That's why we're
Quran say
I
picking
that
on
got
that's
you.
you.
what it
So it's very
means?
simple. So the Quran gives us the understanding and the inference that we can easily draw
Where?
in which Isa alayhi salam is bestowed with the title
Where?
Messiah, Within a multitude of
Where?
ayat, he's understood as the Messiah according to chapter 19. He's understood as the Messiah according to
We
chapter
know
4.
he's called Messiah.
Okay, beautiful.
What
so if
does it
if I
mean?
say someone has a descriptive name or title, and if I say someone's a teacher, obviously we're going to correlate teaching, and that's how he's going to be qualified as a
How do
teacher.
you know
now,
that
How do you know
Messiah?
that's what Messiah
Wait,
means?
one
How do you
second.
know?
Shut
Yeah, here we go.
the snouts, both of you. Shut
How
the
does
snouts.
you know
you
Let
that
me
don't tell me to
respond.
shut
Messiah
up.
part
Let me
and
respond.
parcel of the
Sam, you guys are
definition includes?
panicking. This
Shut
is
up
bad
and get
looks.
out of here, dude. Go to
This
your
is bad.
If you
Mirage.
Look,
don't
he wants
answer,
to
you're
kick me out.
gone.
He wants to kick me
Last
out because he
chance
doesn't
or
like an
you're
adequately
gone.
respond. He wants to
Last
kick me out
chance.
because he doesn't like an adequately respond. Well, look at you, dude.
Send
Look
him.
at you.
Send him back
Look
to
at you.
Mecca.
Look at you. Look at you.
Who's
How
All
do you
Mecca?
right,
know
looking
that that's what
pathetic, like a
Messiah means?
slog.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I know that he is the Messiah because of him meeting specific characteristics and qualifications
And
that are
how do
Which
you
tied
is
know
what?
that the
descriptively
Where?
to
qualifications
the
are
name and
part
the
of
title that's
the
given
Messiah?
to him.
What's
Jay,
the
you
evidence?
realize
It's a waste of time. So he has
He's a
no
stupid
answers. So
dumbass,
this
yeah.
is just yapping in
Begging,
a
begging
circle.
the question. Oh, Messiah, we know it means he's a miracle. How do you know that? Oh, because the Quran says he works miracles, and that means that's part of the definition of Messiah. Yeah,
Assalamu alaikum.
you can't
Yeah,
say
go
that.
ahead. Make
Hold on.
what's the
Yeah, my
answer
sister
here?
in humanity. My sister in humanity. You can't say that.
Al Imran
You can't say that to non-Muslims. You can't say-
345:51.
Okay, hold on. Young lady, are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
You can't say that to non-Muslims. You're supposed to just say salam. I'm just trying to correct you according to your aqidah. Okay, go ahead. We're not. Okay, I think she's a troll. You want to call
Oh
her?
my gosh, according to your data, you can't say assalamu alaikum.
Go ask your Muslims. You can't say, first of all, you can't greet the non-Muslims first. And you're not supposed to say assalamu alaikum to non-Muslims. You say salam, yes, but I'm just helping you.
Shame on me. I guess
All right, go ahead,
I
get
will
to it.
what?
Hey, stuck
Okay, so do you have an
What?
argument or are you just gonna
I've got you Al Imran 345:51.
What does it say what the Messiah means?
Read it.
I've read it. I know what it is.
Say
The
it out
angels
loud.
came to Mary. The angels came to Mary with glad tidings of a word from him whose name is Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary. So what's the definition of Messiah?
To wipe clean.
Where does it say wipe clean? Oh my goodness. Where does it say that?
You're talking ancient language. Every Arabic letter, every Arabic word has a 3-letter root. Every 3 letters has
my
a
gosh.
very
Here we
specific
go again.
meaning to those 3 letters.
Oh, where does the Quran say
Messiah.
that?
Yeah.
What?
Where does
Have
the
you?
Quran say that?
The Quran doesn't say anything
That's
about how the
Thank you.
language breaks down.
Thank
Oh,
you.
so then it doesn't tell you what Messiah means.
No.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's the
that's
whole
it.
argument.
That was it. Thank you. Thank you. That was it. That was my point.
It's all interpretation by humans.
Okay, can I ask you the second question now? How do you know that Jesus is the Messiah that the prophets said would come?
Jesus is a medium for human minds to understand how to forgive themselves.
Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord.
Okay, this isn't even a Muslim, so we're gonna move on.
All right.
This is a silly person.
It's dying, man. Yeah, I'm dying here. You see why I don't like debates, Jay? You see, right? Why I don't. I can't do it, brother. I'm old. I don't want to have a heart attack, but go ahead.
Go ahead. What's up, Yoi? 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 What's up? Unmute. Okay, not gonna unmute. Arrow, do you want to say something?
Yeah, real quick. I'm gonna let y'all get back to the Muslim, but I want to say something real quick. So you heard the notifications going off in the background, right? So look, Muslims.
Yeah, he was getting messages sent to him. I know.
Yeah, so Muslims on TikTok, they have this thing, well, a lot of them, especially Islamic Apex, who were just up here, they get people to send them information, especially if they're scared they're going to get dominated.
Yeah, I know they all do that.
Yeah, so his phone was going off like that, just to let you know, because somebody was texting him over and over again. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, we know. We know. It's
I
all
figured
right.
that. I figured that. Yeah.
That was it? That's what I want to say. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not, I mean, I could pretend to be
What's
a
up?
Muslim.
Appreciate that.
All right, boss.
What's up, Nas? Unmute. NAS, when you want to unmute.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. First off, I'd like to say the topic that is in discussion right now is where in the Quran is Messiah used to describe
No.
Jesus?
No.
Okay.
Let me repeat it again. Let me repeat it one more time.
All
My
right.
whole point was the Quran depends on the Bible and needs the Bible in order to make sense out of it. So I just gave one of 1 million examples I could give. So my
Okay.
challenge is, what does Messiah mean according to the Quran, and how do you know Jesus is the Messiah?
Okay. Can I respond?
We're ready.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So in Surah 5, verse 6, when it's describing the believers how to, make ablution before prayer, the word that is used is "wamsahu bi ru'usikum wa
I know.
arjulakum."
Did you hear
Okay.
my response to that, Nas? I know that the
Yeah.
scholars have connected Messiah with smearing or rubbing.
Okay.
I understand that. How do you
Yeah.
know that's the meaning in reference to Jesus?
Because the Al-Masih, the title, is referring to that smearing action
Where does
and
it
that
say
rubbing
that?
action.
Where in the context of Jesus being called Messiah, it says he's called that because he went on smearing people?
He wasn't the one smearing people. I'm saying Al-Masih, which is the one that is anointed, that's
Okay,
it's
anointed to do what? And how do you know?
anointed to do it. Okay. Do you want me to tell you where we rely to get that information?
Well, go
Yes.
ahead.
I agree. Yeah, it's just like, we believe that, the stories of the
Oh, from the
Israeli,
Bible.
it's called,
So from the Bible.
yeah,
That's what I've been trying to say for
Oh,
now.
that's
Yeah.
very
yeah,
good. So you confirm my
yeah, no,
point, Nas. Thank you. That
yeah,
was it.
I agree to that point.
Okay, good. Good.
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, would you say the same thing when it comes to? Would you believe that in order to confirm the New Testament, you have to look at the Old Testament?
Boss, do you understand that we Christians,
Hmm.
because Jesus forced us to accept the Old Testament, we're
Yeah.
stuck with it. We have to respect it. We have to defend it. You think if Jesus didn't confirm the Old Testament, I would care about a collection of books that was given to the Jews? But what we don't do, Nas, this was my point. I don't then go and say, this Old Testament passage sure seems to contradict New Testament, so it's corrupted.
Hmm.
Because the
Okay.
New Testament does not allow me the option of saying the Old Testament is corrupted. So I'm in a dilemma similar to you when it
Okay.
comes to the Jews. With the Jews, my dilemma is the Old Testament I'm stuck with. So the
Hmm.
New Testament has to agree. What you guys do is the cop out. Here, let me tell you what the
Okay.
cop is. Yeah, we'll
All
go
right.
to the Bible to explain the Quran, but when the Bible contradicts the Quran, then the Quran is not wrong, the Bible is corrupt. That's the dilemma I'm trying to articulate.
Okay. Do you know where Muslims are coming from with regards to the argument?
That the Bible contradicts the Quran, and therefore the Quran is perfectly preserved. Muhammad is a
Yeah.
prophet, and the Bible is corrupt.
Yeah. That's
But
the
that's
argument.
circular reason. But Nas, that's circular, my friend, because you can't go to the Bible to explain to me what Messiah is, what's the proof of Jesus' Messiahship, and then when the
Mhm.
Bible tells you this is what makes him the Messiah, and it contradicts the Quran, well, those parts are corrupt. You can't do that, man. That's circular.
Okay. I just want to know what is did you like for example, you look into the Old Testament
Yes.
to prove the messiahship of Jesus.
Yep.
Does that include that he would be like a part of the Trinity or God himself?
Yep. Isaiah chapter 9, which even Jews see. What we do when we go
Okay.
to certain Old Testament texts,
Hmm.
we also then back it up, which I've done. I have articles right in front of me on my blog
Okay.
where I show rabbis interpret these about Messiah. For example,
Hmm.
in Isaiah 9:6, Maimonides, who's a medieval rabbi who's an anti-Christian, anti-Islamic polemicist,
Yeah.
he's writing a letter to the Yemenis in
Hmm.
the 12th century. The letter can be read online, where some guy claimed to be Messiah, and he says, you've been hoodwinked and deceived because the Messiah, he's going to be great, grand. And then he quotes Isaiah 9:6. He says,
Okay.
these are his names. Well, one of the names he says. Now, he doesn't
Hmm.
believe the Trinity. He doesn't believe Messiah is God in the flesh, but he has to admit Isaiah
Okay.
9:6, the child is Messiah called El Gibor, which in Arabic would be Ilah El Jabbar.
The mighty God part, right? Of
Yep.
the wonderful counselor. Okay.
Do you agree with that?
The meaning, Al-Jabbar?
Do you agree that Maimonides says these are titles of Messiah, not Hezekiah, like some of the Muslims like to say because they quote Tovia Singer? He says it's
Okay.
Messiah, sits
Yeah.
on the throne of David forever,
Yeah,
You
I'm
agree?
not even gonna quote that guy. I'm just saying I'm looking at this verse right now, and from what I've understand reading through the Gospels, I don't know where Jesus was ever called, Prince of Peace or everlasting Father,
Thus,
or yeah.
if you go to Matthew 4, 15 and 16,
Mhm.
Isaiah 9 is quoted as being fulfilled by Jesus. The New
Matthew
Testament,
what?
Matthew 4, 15 and 16, it says
Okay.
Jesus fulfills Isaiah 9, verses 1 and
Okay.
2, which is the context of the child born who's a mighty God. Stop arguing from silence. First, acknowledge that this is a text that rabbis admit are about Messiah, number one. If it's Messiah and Jesus is your Messiah, then you're stuck with Jesus, the Messiah, being the mighty God, according to even rabbinic interpretation of Isaiah 9.
Okay, then wouldn't you say all Jews would accept Jesus to be that, and they haven't, like you're
Come on.
saying this.
You want to use that argument, dude? If the Jews didn't accept Jesus, then they can't accept Muhammad, because to accept Muhammad, you have to accept Jesus as Messiah.
I
So you're
agree.
saying that the Jews should not
Yeah.
even accept Muhammad, who accept Jesus as a Messiah?
No, I'm not saying they should. I believe they should accept Jesus, but I'm saying they don't
Okay.
use if that verse was clear for them, they would have accepted
No,
Jesus. Yeah.
no, buddy. The verse is clear that's Messiah. They don't think Jesus is the Messiah. But I'm asking you, since
Okay.
you believe he's the Messiah, and the
Yeah.
Jews say this is about Messiah, do you now accept
Mhm.
that Messiah is the mighty God?
You said Maimonides says that?
Yes, I
Uh,
have it. Yeah.
okay. I
Even
need
the
to look
Targum,
into that for sure.
even the
Or
Aramaic
100%.
Targum, even the
Okay.
Aramaic Targum, it
Mhm.
says that this is about Messiah, the anointed one. So I'm going to ask you again. Hold on now. The Jews who are not Christians say
Okay.
that Isaiah 9 is about Messiah. You and I believe Jesus is Messiah. So are you now in agreement? The Messiah, Jesus, is the mighty God who will sit on David's throne forever, not for 40 years?
That Jesus. Say that again one more time. Sorry.
Okay. The Jew. Okay. Now, when I say Jews, there are hundreds of thousands of Jews that believe in Jesus. Hopefully,
Okay.
they'll come. Okay. But
Yeah.
put it aside here, because obviously we wanted them to come to the true church, and Jay's praying for me. To him, I'm a papist heretic, but pray for me, Jay. Have mercy on me. But anyway, coming to you, you and I,
Mhm.
we agree Jesus Messiah, right?
Yes.
Okay. The Jews, Aramaic Targum, even Maimonides say Isaiah 9 is
Can you
about
explain what?
Messiah.
Yeah, real quick. Aramaic Targum. Can you say that? Okay. Go ahead.
Targumim is the translation of the Old Testament into Aramaic.
Okay. Okay.
Then the Jews translated the Old Testament in
Mhm.
Aramaic. They were not Christians. They're
Okay.
saying that this is the Messiah. Isaiah 9, the child is the Messiah. Maimonides comes in the 12th century.
Mhm.
Now, remember, this is after Islam, after Christianity. He hates Christianity and Islam, but he still has to tell the Jews
Mhm.
Isaiah 9 is about Messiah. These are titles of the Messiah. And he also says Isaiah 11 is about Messiah, and
Mhm.
Psalm 2:7 is about Messiah. In Psalm 2:7, the king
Mhm.
is said to be the begotten Son of God. I will declare the decree of Yahweh. He said to me, "You are my son, today I've begotten you."
Yeah, in
Maimonides says
Psalms.
that's about
Uh-huh.
Messiah. Isaiah 11, the Spirit of Yahweh will be upon the root of David, the root of
Mhm.
Jesse. Jesse's
Mhm.
David's father, the Messiah. Isaiah 9, the child born is Messiah. He says these are all about Messiah. Now, he doesn't believe Jesus, but you and I
Okay.
believe Jesus is Messiah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But before you go on, Matthew
Mhm.
4, 15 to 16 agrees Isaiah 9 is about Jesus Messiah. Acts 13, 32, 33 agrees Psalm 2:7 is about Jesus Messiah. So I got a rabbi and I got a Jewish
Mhm.
source agreeing with
Mhm.
the New Testament. Isaiah
Yeah.
9, Psalm 2 is about Messiah, who is Jesus. You believe
Mhm.
Jesus Messiah. Do you now agree he's the begotten
I
Son
do.
of God and mighty God?
I do believe he's the Messiah, but you said that Psalms also calls David the Messiah, right?
No, I
According to
said that.
Maimonides.
No, Maimonides says that's about Messiah.
So when God is talking to David in Psalms and he's saying, "This day I've begotten you," is he talking to David or someone else?
Whether David or not, stick to the point of the text
No,
being
you brought.
used by. No, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
I
no, no, no,
understand.
no, no. Stay.
Okay.
I know you want
All
to go
right.
to David. I can address that, but I'm not, because you
All
didn't
right.
answer my question.
No, you just brought it up. I'm just saying.
And I just brought up in the context that the New Testament and the rabbis agree. Psalm 2
Okay.
is about Messiah, begotten Son of God, who is the
Okay.
King of all nations. Isaiah 9 is about Messiah being the
Okay.
mighty God. You keep saying, okay. Do you now
Yeah.
agree that Jesus is the mighty God and the Son of God?
Do I? That's you're just jumping like straight to that. Do I agree that he's the God? I
Because I
told you
asked
there's an
you, how do
argument.
you know?
Yeah.
How do you know
Yeah.
Jesus is the Messiah and what it means? You said we go to the Bible.
hmm
I just went to the Bible and showed you both Jews and Christians agree these passages are about the Messiah. And you admit Jesus is
hmm
Messiah. So do you now agree Jesus Messiah, the mighty God, the Son of God?
I believe he's the Messiah, but not the Son of God.
Okay, then how do you know he's the Messiah? What proof you have without going to the Bible? Because I went to the Bible and it says to be the Messiah is to be the Son of God. You reject that. So without going to my Bible, tell me what is the Messiah and what proof do you have Jesus is the Messiah?
Okay. Let me give my argument. So I do believe that according to the Old Testament, that one could come to the conclusion that, where they put Jesus as the Son of God. I could see where someone comes to that, and I could see where divinity gets attributed to him later on, based on that. So that's according to that's going
Can you
through the
answer
Old
my
Testament.
question, Nas? How do you know Jesus is the
hmm
Messiah and what makes him the Messiah? Because I'm a Jew who wants to be a Muslim, but I got a problem. You're telling me Jesus Messiah, born a virgin. Can you prove
hmm
that to me that my prophets
Through the
announced the
Bible,
coming? My
just
prophets
using the
announced
Bible.
the
Yeah.
coming.
Okay.
No, you
Uh huh.
can't go to the Bible because you just rejected the Bible. My prophets announced the
Okay.
Messiah is coming. You're telling me
hmm
Jesus Messiah, born a virgin. What can you
Yes.
give to me, the Jew, to prove to me Muhammad is right? Because you went to the Bible, you rejected it. Don't go to the Bible. Answer the question without going to the Bible.
Okay. Using the Quran, how I could prove to a Jew how Jesus is the Messiah.
Yep.
Okay. So the Quran multiple times, it calls the people of the book, it calls Ahl Kitab, and specifically it talks about the Jews in reference. It refers to them. It tells them about the stories that passed. Whether it's the story of Moses and all the
Like
other
Psalm
prophets
2 and
before.
Isaiah 9, that they said it's about Messiah, which you rejected. So how are you going to convince the Jew that your definition of Messiah as applied to Jesus is the correct one when their rabbis are telling you these passages talk about Messiah who will rule forever, whom all nations will worship and serve, which you
Mm.
reject? So now
Okay,
convince me
this is
the
the
Jew.
view of the Jew. This is the view of the Jews right now on the
Yes.
Messiah, the Messiah.
Yes.
Okay, the Mashiach. Okay.
Now convince me that you have the right view of Jesus being the Messiah and that he is the Messiah. When Messiah is supposed to be from the line of David, he's the king that rules forever and all nations will serve him. They get that from Zechariah 9:9, Psalm 72, verses 9 to 11,
hmm
Psalm chapter 2, and Daniel 7, which you think it's Muhammad, but they say it's Messiah. So they're
Yeah.
telling you the Messiah is the king that rules forever. All nations must serve and worship him. And that's the Messiah, and he's from the line of David. Now, how are you going to convince the Jew Jesus is all that? But you don't believe that, because if you believe it, you can't be a Muslim. Do
Uh-huh.
you believe Jesus is the king who will rule forever and everyone must serve him?
No.
Okay, then how are you going to convince the Jew that Jesus is Messiah?
Okay. So, okay, can I speak for like a minute without getting
Oh, yeah.
interrupted?
No, but if you stay on the
Okay.
topic, please.
I'll stay on the
Okay,
topic.
go ahead.
So the Quran, there's a verse in the Quran that says that the Jews would recognize a prophet like, like their son, like their,
Surah
uh,
Al-Baqarah. Yeah.
yeah. So there's, before they, you said that, you mentioned that they have to accept Jesus as well as the Messiah. So Muhammad fulfilling the prophecies that proves that he was a prophet that would be sent to that the Jews
So you need the
were
Bible
waiting
again,
for.
huh? Oh, so you need my Bible again when I told you don't go to my Bible. But now you got a problem. You just went to
Okay.
the prophecies of Muhammad. I just
Okay.
told you I went to the Jews that
Uh-huh.
said these prophecies that the New Testament quotes about
hmm
Messiah are about
Yeah.
Messiah. What
Okay.
prophecy? Psalm 2:7, Messiah is the begotten Son of God. Even Zechariah 9:9, they say that's about Messiah who will be the king who rule all nations. Daniel 7:13, they say that's about Messiah who's the Son of Man who reigns forever and all nations must serve him. So the Jews say these prophecies show Messiah, son of David, is the king who lives forever, rules forever, and all nations must serve him. New Testament agrees. You reject that. So how are you going to then appeal to the Old Testament prophecies when I just appealed to the same Old Testament? And I even got the Jews backing up those same prophecies, New Testament quotes, to prove Jesus being the Messiah would be Son of God, Son of Man, who rules forever and everyone worships him, which you reject.
Okay, so this is like the mainstream view of Jews, that this is how the
You
Messiah
want
is
me to
going to
bring
be.
it up? I can go to the Talmud, Sanhedrin 98b to 99a. I can go
Okay.
to Rashi, honest commentary, Chabad.org.
Okay.
I can go. I have the receipts, man. I have
Okay.
them. So you didn't answer
Okay.
the question though.
No,
Since
okay.
well, here's the question again. Since the
Yeah.
Jews agree with us, these passages are about Messiah. But these passages say Messiah is the one like the Son of Man, who rides the clouds of heaven, whose kingdom is indestructible, whom all nations must serve, which the Arabic is ibadah in the Arabic, because I know like you guys like to go to the targets. And then Psalm 2:7 is about Messiah being begotten of God, the begotten Son. Zechariah 9, all of these passages, Messiah, that Messiah is an eternal king from the line of David, whom all nations must serve and worship, agreeing with the New Testament, but you don't think that as a Muslim.
Yeah.
So then how are you going to convince us Jesus the Messiah and what Messiah means without going to the Bible?
Convince the Jews or Christians? You said us.
Both of us. Let's start with the
Both of
Jews.
you. Okay, the Jews. So in order to do, okay, here's what you need to understand. In order for me to convince the Jews that Jesus is the Messiah, this is someone that they've already, rejected. They accuse his mother of heinous things, right? So what I have to do is I have to prove the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad, and then in that case they have to, through the revelation of the Quran, would have to accept that Jesus was indeed the Messiah.
No, that's not going to
That's
work.
That's not going to work.
Because once you show the Muslims Muhammad is a prophet, and then they agree with him, he's the Messiah, they have to reject Muhammad because you didn't hear anything I said. Yeah, I'll tell you why.
Jesus, no, Muhammad is a Muslim. You mean Muhammad is a
Once
prophet,
you
not the
convince
Messiah?
the Jews
Yeah.
Muhammad is a prophet, and then now they agree with Muhammad, Jesus Messiah, they have to reject Muhammad.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Tell me why.
Because once you tell them he's a Messiah, now they're going to say, wait, if he's the Messiah, there's no room for Muhammad. Because the Messiah is the king who rules forever, the son of David, whom all nations must worship, which means Muhammad is wrong. Thank you. We're going to become Christian.
Okay. So that's how the Jews would think. Okay.
Once you've convinced them Messiah's come, it's over for any prophet, whether Muhammad or Joseph Smith. For the Jews, Messiah is the culmination, the climax of all prophecy.
Okay.
For the Jews.
So who would you say is the spirit of truth in that Jesus was talking
You
about?
sure you don't want to go there? Come on, Nuss. You know these arguments.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, the Jews reject Jesus's the gospel. So but you said that's how the Jews think. Okay, I agree with you that they killed many prophets. They probably reject him regardless. Even if they saw with their eyes, the miracles that Jesus performed, and they still rejected him. Okay, that's okay. Now let's go to the Christians, right?
Yeah.
So
Spirit of truth.
now we're talking about the spirit of truth. So if Jesus said he was going to send someone, I mean, he uses the masculine he many times.
Jesus
It's
sends
not.
him, right?
Yeah.
So Jesus sent Muhammad. Thank you.
I agree.
Oh, you agree Jesus sent Muhammad. So Jesus is Muhammad's God? He's Allah?
No, I don't think it's just God that has to be the one that
Boss,
sends someone.
your Quran says Allah sent Muhammad, right?
Yeah, Allah. Yeah.
John 16:7 and John 15:26. Jesus, I will send him from the Father who proceeds from the Father. Jesus saying, when I get to heaven, I will send him from the Father. So if you believe Jesus sent the Spirit of truth and the Spirit of truth, Muhammad, you just ended up saying Jesus from heaven sent your Muhammad on earth. So your shahadat is there is no God but Jesus and Muhammad is his messenger. I told you don't go there. That passage is not going to help you. Okay, anyway. Jay, what happened to you? Took a vacation? Can you guys hear me? Everyone went silent.
No, I'm here. Appreciate that. That was great. I mean,
What
this
happened?
is this is about what's true. I mean, I'm not here to try to run the space
No,
because
brother, you've done that to me in the debate.
you're doing great.
No, thank you, man. You did that to me in the debate. You get
Vano, what's up, man? Go ahead.
Who's it?
I just want to say, man, thank you for saving my life.
Not me, brother.
And
Don't give me too much credit, man. Those spirit, brother. Give them to Lord. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, not me, brother.
And it's a pleasure talking to you.
God bless you.
I have a question for Jay Dyer. Is it okay for somebody to say, because this is a question I wanted to ask you guys, because you guys, I'm still a student, but I wanted to ask, is it okay to say that you're a Christian with no denomination?
No.
I mean, you can do that, but I don't think it makes much sense because, just look at the first 1,000 years of the church. There's no churchless apologists. There's nobody
Amen.
who's like preaching generic Jesus. Jesus told us to listen to his apostles and those that succeeded him. So,
Amen. That's why Jay is praying for me to come into the Orthodox Church. You see, he loves me, even though he's not going to condemn me yet.
So what would be proper, like Eastern Orthodox or just Orthodox, just in general and stuff like that?
well, I mean, I'm
Because
just
like I
saying you
always
need to join the Orthodox Church. So,
Yeah. It's,
no,
see how
no, because what I'm saying
see
is
what he's
that
doing,
I
Jay?
believe that.
He's trying to set me against you. Yeah, become Eastern Orthodox, brother.
No,
Good.
Sam Shamoun,
I would,
no,
I would
brother.
never. I
Honestly,
don't yeah, I don't attack.
honestly, brother, Sam Shamoun, you saved me, brother.
Not
Honestly,
me, man.
because
Please, I can't even save myself from
no,
getting
the
fat.
reason.
hey, we appreciate it, but we're gonna bring some more Muslims up. Abdul Rahman, what's up?
Dude, I can't save myself from getting obese. What you talking about? Go ahead. I can't save anybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Well,
What's up?
hopefully you can keep respectful, my friend. We'll have a respectful dialogue.
Hopefully we can.
Hopefully, man. You know what the dilemma is, right? I mean, I can give you another dilemma besides the Messiah one, but it's up to you.
I didn't really understand that one. Maybe you can help me out because
Okay.
you were saying that like for the Quran doesn't you can't like actually explain the word Messiah
Yeah.
from it.
There's a lot of things. The angle I'm going about it is that the Quran assumes the prior knowledge of the scriptures, meaning it assumes that you, when you come to the Quran, already have all this information about Jesus, his followers, Moses, etc., because of the previous scriptures and the Jews and Christians, so that the Quran depends on the Bible for the details. Can I give you one other example? We can come back to the Messiah. Can I give you one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah, if you read from chapter 5, 27 to 32, it says the sons of Adam, one killed the other. Who killed who and how do you know?
Yeah, it's just was that supposed to be Cain and Abel?
How do you know?
I mean, we don't have to know, right?
Why don't you have to know? What do you mean? So it's telling me a story about the sons of Adam and I don't have to know the details?
I don't think so. It's just
All right,
is it
then you're wasting our time.
okay?
I mean, because you're telling me the story is about one brother killing the other. We don't know if it's the older brother, younger brother. And you're telling me we don't have to know? The reason why you don't have to know is because the author of the Quran assumes you're going to get the details from the Bible.
Okay. Isn't it similar like with let's say Isaac and Ishmael, right? Like it might not have to mention that the older one versus the younger one, right? So it's like kind of a similar thing.
Why do you know Isaac and Ishmael are brothers as opposed to Isaac being the son of Ishmael? In the
I
Quran,
mean,
can you show me that Ishmael is not the father of Isaac, but his brother?
well, don't we know from just genealogy, like
The Quran
because
has no genealogy.
well, we don't have to go. You want it from the Quran that
That's my argument, man. You need my Bible to make sense out of the Quran.
but if you could just explain because I didn't understand when you were saying that.
Like
All
The
right, you could
Quran
have that one.
assumes all of these biblical stories, details to fill in the gaps. The Quran itself doesn't tell you. So how are you going to go back to a corrupted text to fill in the gaps?
Exactly, Jay. Exactly, my friend. Exactly.
Well, okay, so let's go back to where you said that. Okay, the Quran doesn't explain the word Messiah properly.
Yeah.
And
no, I
then
didn't say properly. It doesn't explain it at all.
okay, so let's go off of that because you said, you know, there were some earlier people saying, oh, you can, you know, bring up a dictionary to explain the word. But my question was to you is, what's the problem with doing that exactly?
Okay, boss, where do dictionaries get definitions from?
Just how people use it, right? Like it's just the.
Thank you. So the dictionary is based on how people use words in specific contexts. So that's now we're going to go back to my point. How do you know that when the dictionary tells you Messiah means this, they're right? Where did they get the definitions of the term?
It's just you just whichever definition. What? How many definitions are there for Messiah? Like, are you
I'm
telling me that?
asking you, how do you, well, I mean, I'm asking you, how do you know, and what is it?
I mean, we just use the most apparent one, right?
How do you know that's the most apparent one?
Well, what other one could it be?
I'm asking you, explain to me, how do you know what it means for him to be Messiah, and what's the proof he's the Messiah?
I'm not really understanding the question. Not still. You want
I
me to
can't help you,
explain?
man.
Messiah is a specific terminology from the Hebrew text about what the anointed one would be and do. So the Quran is assuming, just like with Cain and Abel, the backstory. So
Yeah.
how do you get the meaning if our book is corrupted?
Well, I guess why is it a problem if we're getting it from your book? I mean, you're trying
Because
Okay.
the book's corrupted, according to you.
but according to me, right, it's not all corrupted.
Oh, but how
Oh,
do you know that part's not corrupted?
yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Because
it's
you assume the Quran, right?
so
Because you assume the Quran. Yeah.
you're saying that it's circular.
Yes.
So okay, so
Abdul
well,
Rahman,
what about?
understand why it's circular. Because if you need my Bible to bail out the Quran, but then my Bible contradicts the Quran, and then you say it's corrupt, then how do you know those parts that bailed out the Quran are true? Oh, because the Quran says so. Then we're back to square one.
Okay, so you're kind of focus. I mean, you're focused on things that are fully reliant. You're saying that it's fully reliant on the Bible.
Even
That
if it's
specifically,
not,
you're
no, no,
saying it's
even if
fully
it's
reliant.
not fully reliant, the
No, you
moment,
just use one example.
exactly, he got it, Jay got it, you got it, Jay. You're the logician, I'm learning.
Yeah, you just use the example of Messiah or Cain and
So
Abel.
is it fully reliant for those examples
Okay,
on the Bible?
here, let me break it down.
So you're saying-
The moment you go to my Bible, even to answer one question, you just made the Bible authoritative over your Quran, and the Quran is subject to the Bible. That means then I can now use my Bible to show you why I reject the Quran and Muhammad is a false prophet, because he contradicts the Bible.
But do we only know that? Do we really only know that from the Bible, or is there any other traditions?
What other set of scriptures do we have that announce the coming of the Messiah and then Jesus fulfilling those promises? Do you know of any other books? Name them.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it.
There isn't
Yes.
any. The Messiah is the promise given to the prophets of Israel as recorded in their scriptures. Why do you think the New Testament's constantly appealing to the Old Testament to show he's here and his name is Jesus? We don't do what you do. Oh, but your Old Testament's corrupt.
Okay, it's a fair point. So I'll look into it. And
Yeah,
thanks for the
appreciate that,
conversation.
man. Thanks for the call. XUK, what's up? XUK, you want to unmute? No. Dawood, unmute.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah. So we are assuming, like as you said, those names are in the Bible, but we don't go to square one because we already established that Quran is a trusted book, is a
Who
reliable book.
established that?
Yeah, you haven't.
Just stating your position establishes it. So can I just state my
No,
position?
no, 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 no. Externally, we like we can test it
What, under a
like
microscope? How
from.
you test it?
Okay, that's a good question. So let me answer.
Yeah, Keep making fun, buddy. I will send you first class to do the Hajj.
Yes,
Is
sir,
that
no.
is
them
that
to the
how you
Hajj.
talk? Okay,
Bye-bye.
okay. If it's based on like these laughings, then like
Boss, can you answer the question?
y-
Stop being a drama queen. Get to the
okay,
question.
okay, yeah. If you
Get to the
stop,
question.
like
Come on, just
okay,
answer.
okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you can win an argument, I think.
All right,
boss,
last
you want
chance.
bye-bye.
Come on, dude.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you're gonna kick me out. That's it.
We're waiting.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Okay, so I was saying we test it, like from historical or contradiction, or like if it matches to the reality.
There we go.
How do you match
Like
the reality? What are you even talking about?
Yeah. This guy.
how do you match to the reality?
You said this is a
By
test. You
logic.
match it to reality.
By
What are you even
logic,
talking about?
logic.
I
You
thought you
can.
said history.
There are
So is history
various methods, not only
is
logic.
history logic? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, I did not say. When did I say history is logic?
No, you said by history, by logic. So is that two different things?
Okay,
Or you
so
think it's the
by
same thing?
history, by logic. So I did not say that
Okay,
history
how
is
do you
logic.
test
Did
it
I
by
say?
logic? What does that mean?
By logic, if you find like any contradiction,
Yeah,
so
well, we're
that's one
finding
of
some
the
right now.
criteria.
So we're finding some right now.
Yep.
Oh, so okay, so if you find any contradiction, yeah, then like you can nullify the Quran.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Exactly. Thank
Okay,
you.
so what's the contradiction that you found?
Well, we've been arguing all night that the Quran doesn't tell you what Messiah means.
So is that a contradiction?
Yeah, because you have to come to our scriptures, which you say are corrupt, to understand the meaning.
Yep.
Do you know a definition of a contradiction?
There we go. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, what's the definition of a contradiction?
X is not X, X and non-X at the same time.
Okay, so
Affirming X and non-X.
how does it qualify here?
Because the Quran confirms what came before, and then you argue that it contradicts what came before. That's the contradiction.
Yep.
X and non-X.
Quran confirms what came before, okay?
Yeah.
So how does it contradict with the other premise that you said?
How do you know what the Messiah is without the Hebrew scriptures context if the Hebrew scriptures contradict?
No, there is no contradiction because we assume,
Yeah,
like the other books have some truth in it. We
Some
don't say
truth.
that all
How
of.
do you know that the part about Messiah is not corrupt?
Yeah, exactly.
How do we know? Because we are making Quran the criterion.
Yes, thank you. Exactly. So where does the Quran tell you who the Messiah is?
Yep.
Where the Messiah is, like, can you elaborate?
Okay, boss. Yeah. Hey, oh, oh. Yeah, we're laughing at
Okay,
you.
okay. That's how you.
Okay,
That's how
Dawood,
you.
here, I'm going to ask you the question. What does it mean for Jesus to be the Messiah? What's the definition according to the Quran?
Quran has described Jesus as the Messiah. Like,
What does it mean that he's the Messiah?
what do you mean by what does it mean?
What does it mean for him to be the Messiah? How do you know he's the Messiah?
How do we know? Like,
Oh my goodness, this guy's cringe. Okay.
No, you have to elaborate, like, what do
Why
you
is
mean?
he
Like, I
called the
can say many.
Messiah? What makes him the Messiah?
It's a Hebrew term, dude. And you don't know what it means apart from Hebrew
Okay,
revelation.
you want the meaning, like the meaning of the Masih?
Yes.
Yeah, and what
We
makes him
asked
the
you 5
Messiah?
times for the meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Messiah means the anointed one.
How do you know?
Yeah, that's from Hebrew scriptures, right?
Exactly. How do you know that's what it means? Exactly.
Because Quran is not, like, it does not give you the definition of
Thank you.
every single thing. Quran is.
Okay, thank you. So where do you get the definition from? Is it from the Hebrew scriptures?
Okay, yeah, we can take many
Okay.
things from the Hebrew
Right. So how do
scriptures.
you know
Yeah, there
that
is no
part's not
issue.
corrupt? How do you know that part of the Hebrew scriptures isn't corrupt? That's the question.
Yeah.
Okay, so our epistemology is, because I told you, I'm going to repeat it. Because we have already, according to our standards, or to the universal standards, we have already established that Quran is from
You
God.
haven't
That's our
universally
epistemology.
established that.
No, you
No, you
haven't.
haven't.
So
You're just asserting that that's the case. That's the thing
Yes.
in question. How did you universally establish that?
Yeah. And by the way,
I gave
Dawood,
you some
hold on,
criterias. I
Dawood.
gave you already some criterias.
Dawood.
Yeah,
If
you
you
said
don't
show a
believe,
contradiction, and we're doing that.
okay, Quran itself says, you know, like if you believe that this book is not from
Yes.
God, then find
I'm
contradiction.
glad you
We're
mentioned
doing
that.
it right now.
But Jay, you're the logician here. Two things. First, number one, you said the Quran is the called criterion Furqan. In your Quran,
Yeah,
chapter 2, verse 53 and 21:48, it says that the revelation of Moses is Furqan. It's the criterion. So which criterion do I judge?
that's a very good question.
Okay,
Both
give me a
of
very good
them.
answer. Give me a very good answer.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So Quran, so the Torah was also a Furqan at that time,
Didn't say at that
and
time.
Quran.
Didn't say at that time.
No, it didn't say. It doesn't. Oh, you mean to say that it has to say
And
like?
hold on, Dawood,
Okay,
Dawood,
the
take it easy.
Quran is
Dawood,
not the book, you know, like
All right, there you guys
Dawood,
freaking
according to
out.
you're
Sam Shamoun,
screaming.
he has to give me all the
Dawood,
definitions.
you
What kind of
stop
stupid
screaming.
logic
All right,
is
Yeah,
this?
I know.
he's
Dawood, stop
freaking out.
screaming. Dawood, stop
Yeah,
screaming.
you won't let me
All right,
speak
Dawood,
you're
because you
done.
know I
stop
gave you the
screaming.
answer. Now
Okay,
you okay?
All
Okay,
right, goodbye.
I know,
This
I
is
know, I know, I know. You're going to kick me out because I gave you the answer.
what's the answer?
I said both of them can be criterion for Torah was a criterion for that time because at that time it was revealed. At that time people were supposed to follow the Torah, but Quran right now is the Furqan because it is the final message, and in our time
Yeah,
Quran is the
does it say
criterion.
that? Does it say that?
What do you mean, does it say that?
It talks about what came before.
No, I'm telling you
No,
both
I'm
of
saying that
them.
the passages that he listed say what came before.
Yeah, what came before, like Torah at that
Yeah,
time
thank
was
you, thank you. So
the
that's the
book people were
criterion.
supposed.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
It's
so
his argument.
okay, actually, initially Sam said that that you know Torah was the criterion. So now the Quran, both of them cannot be criterion. That's what his point was.
No,
I
the
said,
Quran is saying the Torah was criterion in those two passages. That's the argument.
okay, yeah, we agree. Quran,
Oh, thank you.
Torah was criterion at that time. At that time, the Torah, because for example, at
No,
that
the
time,
Quran is saying in the 7th century by the Torah.
yeah, confirm it by Torah.
Oh my
It
gosh.
doesn't say that.
All right, I can't take any more of that. That's too stupid. My finger slipped. Crap. Hold on a second here. I didn't mean, I was trying to boot that dude and I accidentally booted. I accidentally booted Sam. I didn't mean to do that. Crap. I don't know if I can, let me see if I can bring him back in here. I don't see any more Muslims anyway, so that was my mistake. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to boot that dude, and my thumb hit the wrong guy. It wasn't. I didn't intend to do that. Anyway, guys, that's enough. It's 11 o'clock. I appreciate that. Appreciate Sam coming on. I hope the